Hi, today we start off rather unusually from behind my desk. That's because it's cold outside and my test car can be remotely preheated or even started via this mobile app.
Volvo On Call app lets me check the fuel level, onboard computer statistics, including average fuel consumption and range. I can check whether the car is locked and I can lock or unlock it. I can also start the car, precondition it, and even check its location.
But the most important function is calling for help. I can either do it myself by pressing the SOS button here, or if I have an accident and during this accident the airbags or the seat tensioners are deployed, the Volvo On Call center will notify the rescue services and the operator will try to contact me or my passengers to see whether we're okay and to see whether we need any further assistance. Volvo On Call also has an anti-theft function. This means that if the car senses a break-in, it will again notify the Volvo On Call center, the operator will notify the police and try to contact me to see if everything is fine, and if the car is actually stolen, it will be followed by GPS, and if the car is driven away, stolen and driven away, then the operator can stop the car remotely. You may want to check with your local insurance company if this sort of functionality impacts your insurance premium. Volvo On Call costs around 1,000 euros for 3 years in Poland. That's the infrastructure plus the subscription. After the subscription expires, you can extend it to get the operator services. But the emergency functions remain active even for up to 10 years after your subscription has expired. Interestingly enough, the remote control functionality opens the automotive sector and us, consumers, to a whole range of new possibilities. For example, Volvo is testing deliveries to car, where the courier has a PIN code to open your boot, put the shopping or parcels, whatever it is, inside the boot, lock the car, and then you can collect it when you're going home. You don't have to meet the courier, who knows the location of your car, because the system will tell you where the car is parked. How does it work? There is an embedded SIM card in this car. Volvo On Call uses one of the Danish operators, but that's irrelevant to you. When you press the button, you get put through to a Volvo On Call center, local center, which means that the local operator will be able to assist you better than, let's say, a pan-European operator. The local operator, regardless of where you are, is supposed to speak the local language, obviously, and is supposed to speak English. So if you are in Poland, you talk to a Polish operator who speaks Polish and English. If you're in Belgium, you speak to a Belgian operator who speaks probably Flemish and English and whatever else they speak in Belgium. What do you speak in Belgium? Volvo On Call works in most European countries, and in the countries where it doesn't work, when you press SOS, you get put through to the 112 emergency services. This is how Volvo is getting ready for the pan-European e-call system, which should be implemented on the verge of 2017-2018. The system is supposed to notify the emergency services automatically about serious road incidents, and the idea is to reduce the reaction time by half in extra-urban and by up to 60% in urban areas.
Okay, so maybe now let's talk about the car. The XC60 was launched in 2008 and it's Volvo's best-selling model. In 2009, it was highly rated by Euro NCAP.
Under the bonnet of this test example is a 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine, 181 horsepower. It's a D4, that's what Volvo calls it. And yes, D4 in this Volvo is a 2-liter, not a 2.4 liter, and it's 4-cylinder, not a 5-cylinder like it used to be. This is one of the new Drive E engines. Volvo launched a whole series of modular Drive E engines, 4 cylinders, which will power most new Volvos. in the years to come, and this is one of them. And after the facelift, the XC60 got one of these Drive-E engines for the front-wheel drive version. This is a front-wheel drive car, even though XC suggests that it's a crossover and that sort of stuff. But you can have it as a front-wheel drive only. And well, let's face it, most of the time front-wheel drive is enough. You just have some more ground clearance, better view of the road, really. The car is also equipped with an 8-speed automatic gearbox, which replaced the 6-speed automatic. The 6-speed automatic wasn't very good. This one is better. The car is still not fast, but it picks up much nicer, especially when you don't push it too hard. So it's a nice change. It might not be the best gearbox out there, but it's still pretty smooth compared to what we used to have. Now, the car is a bit heavy, but not much heavier than the competition. 1800 kilograms, that's comparable to BMW X3. The XC60 drives more like an SUV than a crossover. You feel the extra weight in the bends and on braking. The car likes to dive. It's more of a family car than a car that you might want to take along some twisty roads. This is a car to take your kids to school, to do your shopping, to go to work, or to cruise along the motorway. Speaking of which, on the motorway, at the motorway speeds, legal motorway speeds, so we're talking 130, 140, depending on where you live. At these speeds, this car is relatively quiet and very, very comfortable indeed. Fuel consumption. The fuel consumption is obviously better than with the bigger D4 engine. It's also better thanks to this 8-speed automatic. When there are more gears, it's easier to find your sort of optimum fuel consumption. Volvo promises around 5 liters per 100 kilometers in the combined cycle. Well, I think 6-7 is more realistic. And in the city, I think you should be looking at about 8 to 9 liters per 100 kilometers, realistically speaking.
I can't wait to drive the new XC90 because the XC60 cockpit is like in all Volvos produced since about 2008. Even the Volvo Ocean Race package doesn't help. You get some orange stitching on the seats and tiny names of waypoints along the race route. Perhaps over the last 5 or 6 years, all Volvo owners learned how to use the onboard computer with all these small buttons which are located too low, but I still think it's a bad idea. I can't believe the floating console is just 6 years old because it aged rather poorly. But driving position is good and so is visibility. I have everything I need within reach, storage is decent, but I know from experience keeping the cup holder area clean is a challenge. There's also decent space in the back, at least when the driver and the passenger are around 175 centimeters tall. Backrests fold flat, but you need to fold them from the passenger compartment, not from the boot. Speaking of which, the boot offers 495 liters, slightly less than Mazda CX-5 and 55 liters less than BMW X3. There is a mini spare under the boot floor and also some small storage. Although there are no hooks for your shopping on the sides, I like this fold-out barrier, which prevents smaller items from sliding deeper inside the boot. The boot lid is electrically operated, which is a good thing when you're about 160 centimeters tall.
Prices of the Volvo XC60 start at around 35,000 euros. This car with extra gear costs about 50 grand. Watch more of my reviews and subscribe to my channel. New episodes every Friday. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Google+. You'll find all the links in the description below. And now, thanks for watching. and I'll see you next time.